Okay guys, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Good. Again, let's try again. Assalamu alaikum. Good, that's more like it. So, today we are going to start off with IELTS speaking part 2. Right? After sleeping and eating, third module is speaking. Right? So, in speaking module, you will have face-to-face interview with the examiner, right? And yesterday somebody commented that over there it's easier, but over here it's difficult. Why difficult? Because he said, sir, so many students and there only one examiner. So don't worry about that. I mean, when you have pressure here, that is why he was quite relaxed during his test. So if I don't build any pressure, for me it's okay. I say, okay, your cue card, you speak now. Okay, sit down, you stand up, speak. You will not have any pressures. But by the time when you come here, you look around, there are so many fellows, they are looking at you. So that creates a lot of pressure. And after this pressure, when you go to actual exam, you take it easy. Okay, so that's why we do it all. We give you tough time here so that when there is the tough time there, you don't take it as tough time. Okay. Now, in speaking part 2, examiner will give you a cue card and it can be anything. There are two things. One is describe and second is talk about. Describe a TV program or talk about a TV program. Describe a city, describe a person, describe a place, describe anything. Remember one thing, on your request, they will not change your cue card. You cannot say, well, I don't like this. Do you have this in pink color, light pink? No, not this much, like a little dark pink color. That's better. They will not change the cue card. They will give you the cue card. Along with that, they will give you pen and paper, 1 minute time to read the topic, write down some notes. And after 1 minute of pin drop silence, examiner will say, you will now have to speak on this topic for 1 to 2 minutes. And then you start. Now, the first thing is, whenever they give you the topic, you need to identify the tense of the topic. Present, past, or future tense. It can be any one of these three. Sometimes it can be past and present. Sometimes present and future. Some points are in present. One point is in past. So you need to identify that. After that, in the first 5 seconds, when you receive the cue card, the first 5 seconds, you have to decide instantaneously whatever you are going to speak about. If it is describe a person, so you need to say, oh, person, that one. Right? Now you know that person, okay? If it is describe a TV program, you need to decide immediately, okay, I'll talk about this TV program. If it is city, so in first 5 seconds, you have to decide whatever you are going to talk about. After that, remaining 55 seconds, you have to jot down the points. Okay? Don't do this thing. First, you read all the cue card. Then you say, oh, I see. And then you start thinking. You look here, they say, no. Then you look there, you say, no. Then you say, yes, this topic, this thing is fine. By the time you come to this, there will be 40 seconds gone, 50 seconds gone, and you will have no time. So you need to do it all very, very quickly. And when you write down the notes should be taken. It's not necessary, by the way. Note taking is not necessary. No one is going to check your notes. But still, it's a good idea. Otherwise, sometimes you go blank. Because in part 1, examiner will ask you the questions. If you go blank, they will ask you the next question. You can answer. But in part 2, if you go blank, examiner will look at you and say, continue. If you don't continue, they will stop you there and move on to part 3. So sometimes students go blank after 30 seconds, 40 seconds, right? Another important point, the topic they give you, it should be in front of you at the time of speaking. They will take the topic back by the end of part 2. So topic should be there. The notes you write, they should be there. Pencil should be in your hand, okay? And rather you can do one thing. Topic is here. The paper is here, and you say, okay, the first point, speak on that first point. Whatever you have written, outline, speak on it. And after that, take a look. Well, secondly, I would like to say why I like this program very much. Speak on that. And then take a look and tick. That I've spoken on this point, I've spoken on this point, and all that. And in part 2, you will not have any watch, any smartwatch. Devices are not allowed. Even this watch is not allowed in actual exam, speaking or listening, reading, writing. So you need to speak on and on and on, and then finally examiner will say, okay, or this is the sign, or examiner will say, that's it. When examiner says this, you have to conclude the talk. You have to finish your answer there with conclusion. Don't stop abruptly. Abruptly examiner says, and you say, okay. Not like that, okay? So when examiner says this, you say, okay, so for all these reasons, this has been my favorite TV program since my childhood. Thank you. That's it. It's over, okay? So this is speaking part 2. Is this clear? And one more thing. If they give you a topic you don't know about, by the way, it will not happen. Is there anyone here who is having difficulty thinking about ideas about the topics that we gave you? No? All clear? All good? So in speaking, it's your speaking test. It's not your general knowledge test. So they always try to give you something simple. There are 2 ways. The first one is you can have an answer. You can, from your experience, from your own surroundings, you can create something. And second, you can exaggerate. Now, for example, they give you a topic, describe a pet that you once had. And in your whole life, you never had any pets because you are a pet of your family, right? So, in that case, you need to exaggerate. Now, you cannot go against the cue card. In part 1, you can deny the question. In part 3, you can deny the question. For example, what type of TV programs do you watch? Well, to be honest, I don't have time to watch TV. My daily routine doesn't allow me to watch any sort of TV programs. Most of the time, I'm busy doing something different. So to answer your question, I don't watch TV programs at all. See that? You elaborated. But in cue card, you can also describe a person you like the most. I don't like anybody. People are so selfish. So I don't like any person at all. There are several reasons. You know, my relatives, they are selfish. On the other hand, I have some, you cannot do it with part 2. In part 2, if you have the real answer, good. Otherwise, exaggerate. Exaggerate means you just have to dramatize the situation and you got to speak, okay? So this is how you have to go on with IELTS speaking part 2. And when examiner stops you, then you have to stop. Otherwise, you will go on and on and on. And tense is very important. Sentence structure is very important. Examiner has 4 babies and you have to tickle every baby. Tickle, you know? Kuchi, 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 then again kuchi, kuchi, kuchi. So examiner has 4 babies and these babies are small ones, okay, not the big ones, right? Yeah. On motorway, I saw somewhere baby changing facility. You know, baby changing facility. And he said, I'll give my old baby and get the new one from there. That's only the diapers they change. Yeah, baby changing facility doesn't mean you take your old baby and they will change it, okay? So, anyway. All right. Examiner has 4 babies and you have to tickle them all. The first baby is fluency. Fluency means to speak without a break, without pauses, without repeating yourself. For example, you're talking, okay, and then after that, when I saw that, this is lack of fluency. Or you take a break after a sentence, that is also lack of fluency. Or you speak word by word. I would like to drink a glass of water. Fluency. It's fluent sentence. I would like to drink a glass of water. Okay, this is not fluent. So you need to speak sentence by sentence, not word by word. And practice. For this you need practice. Fluency. After fluency, the second thing is pronunciation. In pronunciation, they will check your standard English pronunciation. They will not check your accent. Whether it is British, American, Australian, Canadian, no, there is no marking criteria for accent. It's only the sounds of the language. For example, if you say, I've got a beautiful cat, cat, k, and t. Otherwise, I have a beautiful cat and my cat is very clever because cats are clever. That is why I want to say, see that? This is that Punjabi style way you are doing. So this is what they are going to check. this is what we call accent reduction. There should not be any accent in your language, native accent, Urdu or Punjabi. So try to speak standard English, and the best way to do it when you do IELTS listening. Have you seen in IELTS listening, they're doing Ladia and all that. So try to speak like that. Hello, Jack. Hi, Annie. And then they go on and talk. So you should, pick up any character there. I will speak like Jack. I will talk like Annie and all that. Okay? Copy their accent. After that, third is grammar. In grammar, I would only say one thing: try to make compound sentences. Connect your ideas together. You need to, and don't make compound sentences. At the end of every sentence, you add and. Then you make another sentence, then you say and. Then you make another sentence, you say and. That is wrong. Compound sentences can be made with fanboys, FANBOYS. That is the acronym. There are some connecting words which you can use. So for grammar, compound sentences are more than enough. Finally, vocabulary. In vocabulary, or as far as vocabulary is concerned, just try to use a variety of words. If they ask you a question using some words, try to use alternative words for that very word. For instance, if they say, do you like music? Do you like music? Yes, I like music. I like music very much. My brother also likes music. My younger sister likes music more than my brother. All of us like music. Okay, do you understand what am I doing? Repetition. I'm repeating the same word time and again. Do you like music? I love listening to music. This has been my obsession since my childhood. So whenever I am driving, I listen to fast and loud music. See that? So you need to go on and elaborate your point, and then at the end, you can say, well, that is why I would say I am a great lover of fast music. This is the conclusion. So talk like this, elaborate your point, use different words. Actually, you have to demonstrate good language to the examiner. Whatever you demonstrate to the examiner, most definitely examiner will give you the bench score. Right? The same question, do you like music? I like music. Music is this. I like it very much. I listen to music. I have this. I have that. Basic sentence structure, simple sentence, repetition, no connectivity, low bench score. And if you use a variety of words, you connect your ideas. Moreover, additionally, I would like to say music is a sort of something like that. Okay, whatever you want to say. So this is how you're going to answer, and in part 2, they will see your grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, and fluency. And all four, they account for 25% each. 25, 25, 25, 25, and then they give you your overall bench score. Is this clear? All right. After IELTS speaking part 2, examiner will take back the topic from you, pencil and paper here. Cue card, they will take it. They will not allow you to take the cue card out. You say, okay, black mein bechunga. Okay. So they will not allow you. Yes, when you come outside, you can type it, write it, as many of my students do. They give me their cue card. Okay. So, yes. No, it'll be on the screen. When you are taking your computer delivered IELTS online test, then they don't have cue card. They have only pen and paper. Topic will appear on the screen. And the examiner is on the screen as well. Exactly. So it's more like a horror movie. There is the examiner and you've got the headgear and everything. But it's fine. It's more comfortable. Online is better because you will not have that much pressure. There is no physical presence of a human there. So it's only the screens you can answer. But one of my students, she said, sir, for my speaking test, there was a foreigner and he had beautiful blue eyes. And she said, sir, during the test, her eyes irritate me a lot. She got irritated, right? So don't worry, if there is a foreigner, it's a good thing. Foreigners will give you better bench score. Local examiners look at your grammar. Second form of the verb. ING nahi lagayenga, okay? Something like that, okay? But the native speakers, they learn English directly through direct method. So they measure your English, they gauge your English in a better way, and usually foreigners give good bench score. Okay. All right. So in part 3, they will ask you more questions, and these questions are related to your cue card and how to answer. Very simple. The way you answer part 1 questions. Step 1, answer the question directly. Step 2, elaborate your answer in 2 to 3 sentences. And step 3, conclude your answer. Yes, in part 3, questions are going to be about comparison, advantages, disadvantages, opinion, and prediction. So you need to know appropriate language. You should understand it. Say, do you think people will continue going to cinema after 10 years? You say, all right, prediction. So yes, I think people are likely to watch movies in the cinema in the next 10 to 15 years because, and then you answer like this, right? And you need to focus the tense. You say, all right, what are the benefits of buying music discs, or what are the benefits of buying latest gadgets? Well, if you buy latest gadgets, first of all, in part 3, you can signpost your answer. Signposting is first of all, secondly, and finally, right? So like this, you can just add 5-6 sentences are more than enough. And if examiner asks you 10 to 15 questions, there is normal thing, 20 questions, 25 questions. So I've got 2 extremes. One student, he got 8.5 or what? 8.5 band in speaking, and in part 3, examiner asked him only 2 questions. Simply 2 questions, and then examiner said, thank you very much. Bahut acha bachcha hai. And he got 8.5 band. And one of my students who is not here now, he was asked 15 questions. And he was like, and you got to answer every question. If they ask you 15 questions, don't be surprised. Examiner is having difficulty to decide the band score they want to give you. Right? So, yeah, that's important. It's not the interview for Rishta. It's just like general questions. One of my Indian students from Indian Punjab, he said, that examiner lady was asking me question, jidda inne menu rishta dena hunda hai. Something like that, okay? So there isn't anything like rishta stuff over there. That jaise munda te bahut saau hai, inda rishta kar lo, okay? And by the way, you guys, jinka rishta nahi hua, to bahir jaake karwaiyega, udhar jaake zaleel hoiyega. Right? Yeah. So yahan pe kya karna hai? Kyun bhai? Yeah, right, exactly. So this is all about speaking. Now I'm going to invite you one by one. You will come over here and we will have your speaking part 2 and speaking part 3. Thank you.